Hey guys, Ryan here, and in today's video I'm going to talk about what I think is the most important aiming skill any one person could learn or could have. Now we are just going to jump right into it right away, and what we're going to talk about in today's video is what I'd call centering or crosshair placement. If you don't know what centering is, it's essentially where you're just trying to always put your crosshair or the center of your screen where your enemies are most likely to be at, or where you know they're going to be coming from. A lot of people spend a lot of time looking at the floor, they spend a lot of time not checking corners, not pre-aiming, and they don't really center properly. I want you to pay attention to the background footage right about now. I'm going to run into this building, I'm going to get shot at from behind, I see where you're at the corner of my eye, and look at how I center and pre-aim. There is almost no downtime between him coming around the corner and me shooting. Look at how the instant he comes around the corner, I'm already firing, my sights are on his chest, they're on upper body, and he just gets melted. With how fast you die in this game, you have to learn to center properly, and you have to learn to center when your opponents are also moving and not at angles as simple as that. If you keep watching this background clip, you're going to notice how I'll even center when coming around a corner. The amount of downtime between me coming around a corner and actually shooting my opponent is minimal because my centering is on point and I know how to center properly. I am telling you, you can instantly hop on right now and improve your aim by focusing on this one thing. And the easiest way to improve it is by beginning to ask yourself, where are you aiming? When you're playing, just ask yourself, where am I aiming? And what you probably notice is you're oftentimes not aiming where the enemy is most likely to be at. I'm in this tunnel, I'm chasing this guy down, I have audio on him, and look what happens. He just walks into my line of sight, I get a free kill, and my 6-kill game is already off to a great start, and there's over 100 people still alive, and I have 6 kills, and almost every single one came down to me just having better centering than every single one of my opponents. So now that I've laid the groundwork for why I think centering is so important, now that I've showed what it is and how it works and why it's so effective, I want to talk about the single biggest thing you could do instantly to help you center more. And this thing is called pre-aiming. And what this means is you are aiming down sight even if you don't think there's an enemy there. You're doing it before your enemy gets there, and you're probably going to instantly understand why this is going to make you have better centering. Because let's be honest, if you're taking the time to aim down sight, you're probably going to be putting your sight where you expect enemies to be. It would be tough for me to envision someone pre-aiming the ground or something weird like that. But what I do see a lot of people do when they're not aimed down sight is spend a lot of time looking at the ground because their centering's not good. So by learning to pre-aim and by spending a lot of time aim down sight, you're going to get better centering because you're not going to be pre-aiming at the ground. I promise. If you're walking around aim down sight looking at the ground, well, you have much bigger problems than whatever I'm trying to cover in this video. So the point I'm trying to get across is by learning to pre-aim a lot, you're going to start getting better aiming no matter what, because you're going to start putting your crosshairs where the enemy's most likely going to be, and you're going to instantly notice the results. The next time you hop on, this is what I'd recommend to do. First, ask yourself, where's my crosshair? Next, ask yourself, is it where enemies are most likely to be? If that's a yes, well then good job, keep that up. If it's a no, well, that's what you have to fix. Don't be looking at the ground, don't be staring at loot all the time. Make sure you're keeping your crosshair where you think enemies are going to be, especially if you know there's enemies in the near. The second thing to focus on is, are you pre-aiming? Are you actually trying to put your enemies in your line of sight, and are you actually trying to eliminate the ADS time? And the third thing, and this is what I'm about to talk about now, is are you mentally thinking about where your enemies are? Because this is the whole crux of it. If you are not able to predict where your enemies are, if you don't have sound cues, if you don't have callouts for your teammates, if you aren't aware of the location of enemies in fights, how are you ever going to center properly? Well, you can't. It's not going to be possible because you're not going to have the knowledge of where to center. You're not going to have the knowledge of where to pre-aim. So if there's one thing I'd really try and make clear to people, is you have to start getting good at predicting mentally where your enemies are going to be at, because that is the whole key of centering. Once you get used to predicting where your enemies are going to be at, you're going to naturally start centering more, you're going to start centering better, and you're going to start having a lot more success, and you're going to start winning gunfights because, guys, The mathematical advantage of having good centering and also being pre-aimed is so insane in a game like this. It is so hard to put into words. I promise, if you just hop on right now and you start centering properly and eliminating those milliseconds, it is so hard to describe how many more gunfights you will win by doing this, guys. If someone dies in, let's say, 500 milliseconds in this game, and you eliminate 115, 120 milliseconds by having good centering, and then let's say you eliminate another 50 milliseconds by pre-aiming, that can be a total of 200, 250 milliseconds, a quarter of a second. That can be in total added up by just having good centering and pre-aiming, and that quarter of a second can be used in your advantage and in your favor to get more kills, to win more gunfights, and to just overall be a better player. There is no reason you wouldn't be doing this. From every standpoint, from every angle, it will make your life easier, it will make your aiming better, it will make sure you get more kills, and it will literally just make the game feel better and more fun to play. And lastly, before I wrap this video up, I would say centering is easily the most transferable skill you can take with you to any game. It doesn't matter what first-person shooter you're playing. It could be on PC, it could be on console, it could be whatever. It could be Counter-Strike Global Offensive, it could be X-Defiant, Battlefield, Apex Legends, whatever really. But centering is a core skill of all of those games. It's a core skill of any first-person shooter, and it's something you probably want to learn if you're interested in the genre at all. Anyways, guys, it's been Ryan. I am going to release a video on a second channel of me playing Counter-Strike Global Offensive with controller. So if you're interested in that, well, I'll make a YouTube post about it, and in my next video, I'm going to have a link to that video. Anyways, guys, it's been Ryan. I hope you have a good day. Hope you enjoyed this video. Peace.